a beautiful night for baseball, a Saturday in the summer as the Indians and the Royals meet up for Game 3 of this 4-game series. The Royals have taken the first two really in thrilling fashion. As we take a look at the standings in the American League Central, the Royals have now jumped over the Indians. They're in second place behind the Tigers by 6 games. The Indians trail Detroit by 7.5. But as we look forward to the AL wild card, look at that second wild card. This is where things get really interesting. Entering this game, the Royals just a game and a half out. Cleveland is 3 out. And hello, everybody. Justin Kutcher alongside Rex Huther. And Rex, we see those standings. The trade deadline is just around the corner. These two teams are certainly still in it. Now, last year, the Indians made a run. This year, if they're going to make a run, people may think it's the All-Star Michael Brantley. But it could be the catalyst in Jason Kipnis.
That's right. They're counting on Kipnis to pick up his numbers a little bit. Although since 2012, this guy has been nails. Love the way he plays defense. We got action, down and dirty. Scrappy, makes all the plays, and he's going to give you 100%. But offensively, this is where he shines. Look at those numbers since 2012. First in runs scored, and so on down the list. He's got some pop out of that left-handed bat. They really need him to step up if they're going to catch that wild card.
He's a guy who's batting leadoff. He's hit cleanup this year. He can play anywhere they need in that lineup. As far as the Royals are concerned, they have a player in their catcher, Salvador Perez, who might be the best player that people don't know about. This guy is one of the best catchers in all of baseball.
No question about it. Now, Yadier Molina might have a little argument there, but he's got experience. At 24 years old, this guy, Salvador Perez, is one of the beasts in the league. No question as a catcher. 24 is becoming a leader. He can hit with power. He's got tremendous catch and throw skills, and he commands a great game behind the plate. He retains that game plan from start to finish, no matter who's pitching. Salvador Perez is a 2-time All-Star already at 24.
Salvador Perez, his job to catch, to call the game, and try to keep this Indians team in check. And there is Terry Francona in his second year as the Indians skipper. The lineup that he'll put out here today, there was a change. Jason Kipnis will lead things off and play second. Jose Ramirez was originally supposed to bat ninth. Instead, he's now batting second and playing short. Michael Brantley, the center fielder, will bat third. Carlos Santana at first will bat cleanup. Chris Dickerson has moved down to the 5-hole. Nick Swisher will DH and bat sixth. Yan Gomes, he will bat seventh and catch. David Murphy will bat eighth and play right field. And the addition to the lineup is Mike Aviles, who will play third base. Lonnie Chisenhall, a late scratch. And they'll face Jeremy Guthrie on the season, 5-9, a 4.56 ERA. Has allowed 135 hits in 126 in the third innings. And what can we expect to look for from Guthrie here tonight?
Well, the offense of the Cleveland Indians, they're going to have to really look for that fastball. But Guthrie, in order to succeed, he's got to be able to get ahead so he can finish guys off. Both sides with the fastball. They'll keep those guys honest. He's got a 2 and 4 seam fastball. Keep it in the yard. That's going to be the big key for Guthrie. Against left-handed batters, he's given up a 295 average with 15 home runs. And Francona has stacked his lineup this evening with all left-handers except Yan Gomes, the only right-handed hitter in the lineup.
The defense behind Guthrie in the outfield from left to right. Alex Gordon, Gerard Dyson, and Lorenzo Cain, one of the best outfields in baseball. In the infield is Billy Butler at first, Omar Infante at second, Alcides Escobar at short, Mike Moustakas at third, and behind the plate is Perez, who can keep that running game in check. Jason Kipnis will lead things off. You talked about all the lefties in the lineup. The only righty, well, a couple of changes. Now we have one additional righty with Aviles now in the lineup. And the first pitch is in there for a strike to Kipnis.
Yeah, and that lineup change was just made.
Yeah, about 5:45, I think we got the word.
Yep. So there's 2 right-handers in there, but that's okay with Guthrie. Guthrie, he battles. I mentioned it. He's got a 4-seam fastball, 2-seam runner, which is going to be really important to get away from the left-handed bats. Change up and curveball. And he's been inventing and creating as he gets a little bit older, and he's a more mature pitcher. There's a curveball at 73, but he will flip one up there a couple times at 60 and change some arm angles.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to Kipnis. Kipnis, the reigning AL Player of the Week, had a good week last week in Detroit. The 1-2 from Guthrie. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
You know, they've all got good numbers. Cleveland does against Guthrie. Kipnis hitting .588 against Guthrie. 10 for 17, couple home runs, 7 RBIs.
There are his numbers on the season. 5 home runs, 31 RBIs to go that .247 average. The 2-2. Got him swinging. First strikeout of the game for the first out of the game from Jeremy Guthrie. The umpires for tonight's game: behind home plate, the crew chief Jerry Meals; at first base, Paul Emmel. Chris Conroy is at second, and Jordan Baker is at third.
Jerry Meals in his 18th year calling balls and strikes.
One away for Jose Ramirez, and that fastball tails outside for ball 1 and low. Ramirez on the season, 143 average, 5 for 35, no home runs, 2 RBIs. Pass on the inside corner, 1-1.
He does a fine job at shortstop. First time we've seen him in the previous 2 games before this game here, and got a good quick release, nice footwork, and he's going to put the ball in play offensively.
Missing outside with the fastball. 2 balls and a strike. Ramirez getting the start at shortstop as Drupal Cabrera still out with back spasms. As Drupal Cabrera, he's been a lifelong Indian. There's a flare to left field for a 1-out single for Ramirez. But Cabrera is a player who's been in the rumor mill, potentially being dealt at the trade deadline. Man on base, 1 away now for the All-Star Michael Brantley.
He's able to stay inside of this ball nicely. Now that ball's out of the middle of the plate, and most big leaguers, whether you're experienced or not, aren't going to miss that. I'm not going to hit it hard somewhere, but you try to find a base hit. He did by staying under it.
Michael Brantley at the plate. A breakout year for him. 315, 15 home runs, 63 RBIs. A first-time All-Star. A look-alike to David Price.
Yeah, but he wishes he had Price's stuff on the mound. And Price wishes he had his bat, because these two, you mentioned them, 2 of the bright young players in the league.
Career versus Guthrie. Somewhat quiet numbers, a good average. But it's like he's a different player this year.
Yeah, it's almost like he turned a switch on. But you mentioned the word quiet.
Infante to second for 1. The first, the inning ending 4-6-3 double play. This Royals team flashes some great leather. An easy double play there, no scores. We go to the bottom half of the first. Lineup for Ned Yost and the Royals. Leading things off is Nori Aoki DHing. Omar Infante will bat second and play second. Alex Gordon will bat third, and the cleanup spot is Salvador Perez. Mike Moustakas bats fifth. Billy Butler will bat sixth. The bottom third of the order, Lorenzo Cain, Gerard Dyson, and Alcides Escobar to face the tall right-hander Zach McAllister. His last start came last Saturday against Detroit. His numbers on the season: 3-5, a 5.28 ERA. The first pitch to Aoki. And the fastball is on the inside corner for strike one. What are we looking for from McAllister?
What their offense of the Royals is going to be looking for is a hard sinking fastball. He'll sink it, he'll cut it, and he's got a little curveball he'll flip up there once in a while, but really, he's got to be able to mix them.
Fastball is outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
He's 70% fastball, so he's heavy on the fastball side to use that 6'6" downhill angle. Keep the ball down, that fastball. Mix up his pitches, bring in his curveball and his changeup, and he's got to go 6. Or Francona would love it if he could go 6. Because that bullpen of the Tribe, they've been taxed. They've got the most innings pitched by a bullpen in the American League. So the more innings he can eat up, happier Francona's going to be.
That game on Thursday night went 14 innings. Although Kluber pitched a great game, gave them some distance. But when a game goes 14, you use your bullpen. Last night had to use the bullpen again. The 1-2. Aoki trying to bunt with 2 strikes, and that's going to be a strikeout. That's an awkward play.
Seen Aoki do that a couple of times this season. So, only time you're going to do that with 2 strikes is if you pretty much are guessing for an off-speed pitch that's up and you can just place it. But then again, he tried to run before he got it on the ground.
The defense behind McAllister in the outfield from left to right. Chris Dickerson, Michael Brantley, David Murphy around the horn in the infield. Santana at first, Kipnis at second, Jose Ramirez at short, Mike Aviles at third, and Yan Gomes, another very good defensive catcher behind the plate.
Given both catchers here tonight, excellent at throwing runners out. If you're over 30%, that's a really good mark in Major League Baseball.
And Gomes got off to a slow start. A lot of throwing errors to open up this season. But he has certainly settled in. The 1-1 to Infante, fouled back for 1 ball and 1 strike. Infante on the season, 267, 5 home runs, and 48 RBIs. I don't think if you were placing bets earlier this year that on July 26th, Omar Infante would be leading the ball club in RBIs at 48.
Yeah, look, he's done an excellent job for the Kansas City Royals. He's solidified defensively that spot where the last several years they haven't really had an everyday second baseman. Ned Yost has experimented with a couple of guys in and out. Chris Getz over the years. They've had some different guys, but with Infante signed to a 4-year deal, they've got him a real solid veteran. 10 years in the big leagues.
But that kind of really is the problem right now with this Royals team. That Omar Infante, your second baseman, is leading your team in RBIs, where you've got guys like Alex Gordon, Salvador Perez, Mike Moustakas, Billy Butler. You're expecting those guys to be the ones who drive in the runs.
And let's not forget Eric Hosmer.
Yeah, and Hosmer.
Yeah, they've got some guys that really have great potential, but it hasn't been showing up the last couple of seasons. They're going to need some help. Infante does.
3 balls and 2 strikes here to Infante, 1 away, bottom half of the first.
The Royals, their power is missing. They're last in the league in home runs.
3-2 Infante to center field. Brantley going back, still back, will make the over-the-shoulder catch for the second out of the inning. Rex, how about the 4 keys to the game?
How about them? Let's see if both of these teams can give the fans a great game. We got action here. Indians got to play that sound defense. They've had trouble this year making 80 errors. That's the most in baseball. Okay, shake those road blues. And they're 11 games under on the road. Now they're 10 over at home, but they've got to find a way. Now the Royals, they've got to use that defense. They're spectacular. By the numbers, they've saved more runs than any team in baseball with their athleticism in the outfield. And their bullpen, oh man, you got Wade Davis and Greg Holland at the end. If you got the lead, pretty good chance the game's over.
Alex Gordon takes the first pitch inside for ball 1. Gordon on the season, 276, 9 home runs, and 45 RBIs.
If the Cleveland Indians could just find some consistent starting pitching, That would help settle it down and it would rest that bullpen a little bit more. But they're really hoping on Zach McAllister. This guy, he pitched a week ago, but in between that, it was like a month or so between starts, between injuries, and so they're really trying to piece together a starting rotation that's going to help that offense.
The 1-1 pitch to Gordon in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Speaking of pitching for this Indians team, the big guy they're trying to get back is Justin Masterson. He made a rehab start last night in AAA. This is his line, 6 2/3, 4 hits. He allowed 5 runs through 108 pitches. Speaking with Terry Francona before the game here tonight, he said he will pitch on Friday for the Indians. So he is done making his rehab starts. He's going to be back, and he said, you know what? The knee is okay. He's been stretched out. He's not going to benefit anymore by pitching in AAA. We need him on this team, and they need him to be the Justin Masterson of last year.
And that's a guy who pounds the strike zone with heavy sinkers. And Masterson, looking at that little highlight tape of him in Columbus, that's exactly the pitcher that they want to see. Guy with good movement. But the beast that has stood up for the Tribe, wow, Corey Kluber. What a job that guy did in this couple of nights ago. He was solid, 9 innings. Perfect game through 7. So they found him an ace. They just got to find 3 or 4 other guys that can go in there, and Cleveland Indians have a chance just like they did last year. Catch a wild card spot.
Change up, misses high and outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gordon. As far as Masterson is concerned this year, the numbers aren't pretty. 4-6 with a 5.51 ERA in 19 games. 98 innings, 106 hits. So they're hoping again that they get the Masterson of last year back, not the Masterson of this year. The 3-2 from McAllister. Called strike 3 at the letters. Gordon doesn't like it. Neither do these fans. We're through 1, no score. Carlos Santana had himself a nice night last night. He'll lead off when we come back in a second. Stadium in Kansas City, no score. Indians and Royals. It'll be 4, 5, 6 in the order for the Indians. Carlos Santana, Chris Dickerson, and Nick Swisher to face Jeremy Guthrie. Carlos Santana, couple of home runs last night.
Ooh, man, he's got some pop. There's no doubt. Both sides of the plate, but he faces more righties than he does lefties. But he hit a couple of timely bombs for Terry Francona and got them back in the game.
And with Santana at the plate, the shift is on for him. First pitch on the outside corner for a strike.
Mentioned it. Guthrie's overall numbers average-wise against the league 275, but left-handed batters are hitting 295 with 15 home runs off of Jeremy Guthrie. So he's going to have to be able to pitch inside a lot in order to open up the outside part of the plate. And he has no trouble doing that, as he's hit 12 batters this year, Guthrie. So he's not afraid to pitch inside, and that's a key so you can open up the outside part of the plate with some two-seamers.
Santana's numbers on the season, the average is creeping up now to 222. I know you may say creeping up. What? He was below 200 for a lot of this season. And despite all that, his power numbers are still good. 17 home runs.
He's a terrific hitter and has got tremendous plate discipline.
Santana on the season has walked 70 times.
That makes that pitcher come right into him.
Good pitch by Guthrie. Santana out in front of that one.
That's another pitch that he can use against the left-handed bats, is that changeup. So he's got two-seamer and this changeup here, and it's how you hold that ball that makes a difference. Same arm speed. You hold the ball back into your three fingers. They call it a circle changeup, and it's a fooler. It'll trick the hitter.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Santana leading off here in the second. Check swing. Did he go? The appeal to third base. He did not, says Jordan Baker. 3 balls and 2 strikes. What do you think? Did he go?
Well, this play right here, or this lack of check swing or not, gets more guys tossed than any. I think he held off. He checked his swing nicely. But it's the umpire's interpretation on that play. Did he go or did he not? And sometimes hitters don't like it, and they say something, they get tossed.
The home plate umpire is Jerry Meals. 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Santana. Santana gets into one again to right center field. Dyson going back at the wall, gone. Carlos Santana with his 18th home run of the season. And his 3rd in his last 2 games. Talk about heating up. He now has 4 home runs in his last 6 games.
And I'll tell you what, the Cleveland Indians, they love that. That's a welcome sight to go in there with Brantley. If they can get Santana hot, and in his plate discipline we talked about, he got a changeup that was up, and it floated right over the middle of the plate. And when the hitter's in a groove, like he did last night, had 2 home runs, he stays in that groove sometimes for a week. Francona hopes, but he's able to recognize it.
Chris Dickerson fouls the first pitch back. So Carlos Santana certainly heating up. Terry Francona said, you know, despite the batting average, he's always had good at-bats. A good at-bat there.
He's a really good natural hitter. And
that's why it's so surprising what's happened this season with the batting average.
You know, he got off to a terrible start, and sometimes it's hard to catch up, but he's been doing a lot of hitting, you mentioned, since then. To bring that average up from where it was to where it is now, he's starting to get his groove. And like Francona was saying before the game, last year we caught fire at the very end. Offense got hot, we pitched, and we made the postseason. He's hoping for that again. Guthrie's going to have to get that ball down, especially that changeup there. That's not working up there.
Let me ask you this. That was an 83-mile-per-hour changeup. We saw him throw an 85-mile-per-hour changeup to Santana. His fastball's been really 87-91. We saw one at 93. 3-1. And there is Dickerson swinging over that one. Is there enough of a difference between the fastball and the changeup for that changeup to be effective?
Not right now, but we've seen in Guthrie's last couple of starts some 95s. So if he's down a little bit with his velocity, maybe not enough change in speeds.
3-2, humps it up to 94 and strikes out Dickerson.
Yes. So he's got that in him. He shows it at times. Maybe early he's not exactly airing it out, but he did there. He needed a strikeout. And when you pitch up in the zone, it can be hit. Now anywhere in this area here is a good pitch, but up here it's okay. Excuse me. Up here around the letters is a good pitch up in the zone if the fastball's got some hair on it. That four-seamer can get the job done.
One away now for Nick Swisher. Swisher's a guy who's really been struggling all year long for this Indians team. First pitch is low and inside for ball 1. The numbers on the season: 205, 8 home runs, 40 RBIs, an on base percentage of .279. A ground ball to first base. Butler is there. Underhand flip to Guthrie covering. 2 away.
Okay, Guthrie, his changeup when it's on is a very effective pitch, but when it's not, hitters love it. Let's see the one that worked early. See how it had some downward movement. It went away from the hitter, and that's where he wants it. Now the one that's up, I talked about it. If it doesn't have a big power to it, like a fastball, it's going to speed the hitter's bat up. Santana, he recognized that right away. That's what you call in the hitter's book a cookie. He was waiting for it.
They have pretty good cookies up in the press box, by the way.
Better believe it.
I go for the peanut butter, but that's just me. The first pitch to Yan Gomes misses down low for ball 1.
Hitters like the chocolate chips, especially with the chips on base.
273, 13 home runs, 40 RBIs. Ground ball through the hole on the left side. A 2-out single for Yan Gomes.
Yan Gomes extremely solid behind that plate, but offensively he's a threat. He's got some power. He's second most powerful catcher in the league so far in the season. Mike Zunino of Seattle's got 14 home runs. Yan Gomes has 13. Salvador Perez has 12. So we're seeing 2 out of the 3 most powerful catchers in the American League.
David Murphy takes the first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike. Now, I'm a foodie, so I'm going to get stuck on this cookie thing, but there's something about cookies in Kansas, because at Kansas State, the football press box has the best cookies I've ever had.
Oh, it's a nice scouting report.
So if you want to go to a game this year, go to K-State, go to Manhattan, and grab a cookie at halftime. You will not be disappointed. Anyway, now back to baseball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Murphy. This is down low and outside. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Murphy. On the season, 249, 6 home runs, and 48 RBIs. Three and 1 now the count here to Murphy. Guthrie says that was my bad. Mike Aviles on deck. The emergency start at third base with Lonnie Chisenhall out with sickness. Murphy fouls it off the foot. 3 and 2.
Murphy's been a nice addition to the ball club. He's not just a one-dimensional type of player. He can move runners. He's not afraid to drop a bunt down. But you can see his batting average with nobody on, but with runners on, he's been nails. And he's got some pop. Mainly pull pop, but he'll go to the opposite field, especially when they start sending him, or when they start shifting him.
Gomes is off with a pitch on a 3-2 count. 2 away here in the top of the second. 1-0 on Carlos Santana's leadoff home run here in the second inning. His 18th home run of the year. 23 pitches this inning here for Jeremy Guthrie. Runner goes. Pitch misses low and outside. Ball 4. First and second, 2 outs here in the second.
One of Guthrie's keys, for me anyway, before the game was get ahead. And most pitchers will tell you that. They want to strike one's their best pitch. But he's got to be able to get ahead so he can finish guys off. But I'll tell you, when you have long counts in the era of the pitch count, that pitch count gets up there.
Aviles 257, 3 home runs, 24 RBIs. He takes the first pitch fastball for a strike. Aviles, a valuable member of this team, can play third base, shortstop, second, left field. Can really play wherever you need him.
He even got some action in center.
Hard line drive past Escobar into the outfield. Rounding third base is Gomes. He will come in to score a 2-out RBI single by Aviles, and it's now 2-0 Cleveland.
What a nice job of going down and sticking that off-speed pitch by Guthrie. He's able to guide it past Escobar, who's got tremendous range at shortstop, by going down. Curveball, stayed with it, didn't try to overswing. He just wanted to meet it and try to guide it up the middle. And it worked.
A good effort by Escobar, but under his glove. And Gomes able to score easily. First and second, 2 outs. Now top of the order for Jason Kipnis. Kipnis, first pitch swinging, fouls one off. 0-1.
How about it? It's the 2 righties that are doing some damage. There's only 2 righties in this lineup so far. Gomes and Aviles, both base hits.
Foul tip, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, the curveball that Aviles hit was pretty well located, but it was still out over the middle of the plate. But look at the grip that Guthrie has. You see that index finger? It helps with the grip, and also it helps him pull down to get that type of rotation where the ball comes straight down. Every pitcher throws a curveball a little differently.
Watch out. Fouled back, still no balls and 2 strikes. Is that knuckle curve or spike curve?
That's what they call it, a spike curve. Some say it's a knuckle curve, but it's a spike curve, and it's very effective, especially for leverage on that middle finger.
Mike Mussina, A.J. Burnett.
That's right.
Another 0-2 pitch nearly hits Kipnis. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So he goes in hard at 93. Does he go back soft outside here?
Good chance of that, or he runs that 2-seamer on the outer half. Dave Island, outstanding pitching coach for Kansas City, said he's got to be able to pitch inside to set up the 2-seamer away on lefties. But when you pitch inside, doesn't mean inside strikes. You can come in off the plate, get that left-hander's attention.
He goes outside with a fastball and misses. 2-2.
The Tribe making Guthrie work in this inning.
31 pitches in the inning here for Guthrie. The 2-2.
Oh.
Hit well to right center field. That's going to clear the bases. Coming in to score is Murphy. Here comes Aviles as he will score easily. A 2-run double for Jason Kipnis, and it's now 4-0 Cleveland.
And with the kind of numbers that Kipnis had on Guthrie before the game started, you knew he was going to do something in this game. But his second at bat, after Guthrie struck him out in the first one, he's not able to. Guthrie can't get that ball in the corners. He stays right down the middle at 88, and that changeup is getting rocked.
The 15th double of the year for Kipnis, drives in 2 more. That brings out Dave Island to speak with his battery. And after dropping the first 2 games of this series, 2-1 and 14 on Thursday, 6-4 last night, the Indians have struck fast here in the second with 4 runs.
Nine RBIs now Kipnis has off Guthrie lifetime.
My first pitch to Jose Ramirez misses down low for ball 1.
That'll help Kipnis's average with runners in scoring position, which is at .210. Francona would like to see him in that leadoff spot do a little bit more when it comes to driving runs in, because he has the ability to do that.
1 ball, 1 strike here to Ramirez. The majority of this damage has been done with 2 outs. It was a leadoff homer by Santana. Dickerson struck out. Swisher a 3-1. 1-1 pulled. Butler makes the play in fair territory, but Guthrie's not there to cover the bag, and an infield single for Ramirez. First and third.
Looks like a possible mental mistake by Guthrie. Billy Butler getting his 4th start now since Eric Hosmer's been out at first base. Been a DH his whole career. Makes an outstanding play. And he saved another run, and Guthrie, he looks to throw it. There's no one to throw to. Let's see Guthrie, what his reaction was like. typically a very good fielding pitcher. He just became a spectator and forgot to cover first base. Ooh.
A mental mistake there by Guthrie. Let's see if it comes back to hurt him. First and third, 2 outs here for Michael Brantley. And the first pitch breaking ball's in there for a strike. But with 2 outs, we've had a single by Gomes, a walk to Murphy, an RBI single by Aviles, a 2-run double by Kipnis. Now the infield single for Ramirez, and Brantley grounded into that inning-ending double play in the first. The 9th batter of the inning at the plate for the Indians. And he goes the other way. Another 2-out base hit. Kipnis comes in to score. Ramirez goes to third, an RBI double for Michael Brantley. 5-0 Cleveland here in the top of the second.
Ooh, and Guthrie really is kicking himself now for not getting that easy out and in the inning, be in the dugout. Guthrie not hitting his spots. Location is right over the middle of the plate, and it's elevated, and especially on that changeup, he's not able to finish. He's not following through. He's not finishing down. It's almost like he's recoiling and he's keeping the ball up.
Santana, who led off this inning with a home run. Big swing right there by Santana. 0-1. Carlos was looking for back-to-back multi-home run games.
That's called a gangster hack. He took a rip.
The 0-1 from Guthrie. In the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Guthrie putting the Royals offense in a hole. They're getting a lot to come back in this one. But the Tribe is on the attack. They are not missing mistakes. Pitchers can make mistakes, and they're going to. And hitters sometimes foul them off, or they might hit one right at somebody. The only time they become mistakes is when they hit grass, and they get in there. They get in between the outfielders. Then they become mistakes.
A tough inning here for Guthrie. 40 pitches, 5 runs in, and it's now 3 balls and 1 strike to Carlos Santana, with runners on at second and third. You can see what lefties have done against Guthrie this season. Huge numbers.
Well, you know, first base is open, and with Santana raking like he is, he's almost better off just letting him walk at him and get to Dickerson.
I agree. 3-1, not taking a chance, missing inside. There is the walk. So bases are loaded with 2 outs. The bullpen right now is quiet for Kansas City.
Well, this early in the game, Ned Yost, he's already thinking about who he's going to use, and you know what he's going to do. But with 2 outs here, he's counting on his veteran to get it out, get out of this inning. Guthrie's been up and down most of the year. Had some good starts, not so good starts, but for him, it's all about location. And most pitchers will tell you that.
Dave Eiland, Ned Yost having the conversation. What do we do? He's given up 5 runs already, up to 54 pitches, laboring. 0-1 here to Chris Dickerson. Missing low and inside. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Dickerson did strike out his first time up. Not a good ratio. Balls to strikes for Guthrie now at 55 pitches. The 1-1. A fake throw down to third base. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Dickerson.
Salvador Perez, he'll throw behind any runner at any base.
That's such a tough play with the third baseman Moustakas so far off the bat.
It is. And he's going to pick his spots. He knew not to throw that one.
1-2 gets Dickerson swinging to end the inning. So the Indians leave the bases loaded, but the damage was done in a big way. Carlos Santana led off with a home run. An RBI single by Aviles, a 2-run double by Kipnis, and an RBI double by Brantley. 5-run top half of the inning for the Indians, all started by that guy, Carlos Santana, the leadoff home run. It'll be Salvador Perez, Mike Moustakas, Billy Butler to face Zach McAllister, who worked a 1-2-3 first. And the first pitch fastball in the outside corner for strike 1-2. Perez on the season, 285, 12 home runs, 38 RBIs for the two-time All-Star.
Two-time All-Star at 24 years old. Speaks volumes.
And he was the catcher for the last inning of Mariano Rivera's All-Star career.
Said it's a highlight he'll never forget. Now, if you're McAllister and you sat for that long, just stay right at him. Downhill plane, here it comes. Ground ball city. That's what he likes to use. 70% fastballs, mix in flip a couple curves up there, a few changeups. You got a nice lead like that, don't walk anybody. Don't let these guys back in the game. That's exactly what he's thinking.
1-2, ground ball to second. Kipnis is there. One away, time for a game break. Let's go back to LA and check in with Chris Myers. All right, thanks so much, Chris. And how about the Tampa Bay Rays? We talk about the trade deadline and will they deal David Price or will they not? And the Rays entering today, we're just 4 games back of the second wild card. Moustakas fouls the first pitch back. And the entire time, Joe Maddon has said, we're in this. Nobody in the American League East is pulling away from each other. And nobody in the second wild card is pulling away from anybody else. So maybe they don't make the move with David Price.
Nah, I can't see it happening. Madden's not going to do that. It's so hard to get to postseason. Just ask Joe Maddon. He'll tell you he's done miracles in that for the Rays down there in St. Pete. He's been a fantastic skipper, but he's got them guys to postseason. He's got them to the World Series. He knows that it doesn't happen all the time, so they're not going to be giving their best pitcher away out there. You believe that? 2 balls and 1 strike here to Moustakas. But let me ask you this question. They could get a lot in return for David Price. A lot, because he has the rest of this year and next year before he becomes a free agent. So theoretically, they could hold off on trading him and trade him in the offseason or trade him even next year at the trade deadline. A 2 balls and 1 strike pitch to Moustakas up the middle. Behind the bag at short is Ramirez. Excuse me, that was actually Aviles behind the bag at short on that shift. And he makes the play, so that's 5-3 for the second out. So looking at some of the guys that might be on the market as we talk about David Price. You got Marlon Byrd. He's been rumored. I think he will be traded based on what's happened with Philadelphia. Yeah, Price is not going anywhere. Just take him off the list. But I don't see that happening. Maybe in the offseason, like you mentioned, though. There's so much parity in the league, and so many teams are in it right now. In order for the Rays to get their price for Price, I don't think anybody wants to do it this year. Billy Butler steps in, takes the first pitch down low and outside for a ball. The Rays will be looking for the top young prospects. And rightfully so. That's right. Just like they did for James Shields. Will Myers, Jake Odorizzi. Back up the middle. That was off. I don't know if it's the arm or the glove of McAllister, but a 2-out single for Billy Butler. Now that trade from Shields, with Shields, you know, and they got Wade Davis, that helped both teams. I mean, look at them. They both have a big advantage from that trade. That was really good. Now Billy Butler, looks like it caught a little bit of his left elbow as McAllister put that elbow up there, but he's hot now all of a sudden. Did you see the eyes of Billy Butler tracking that ball? He's on it. The Royals really need him. So last night he pinched hit, his second pinch hit homer in his career. Just the 4th on the year this deep in the season. He's the designated hitter. They're really lacking some power, but this might be a big confidence boost. Lorenzo Cain takes the first pitch low and outside. Cain on the season, 294, 3 home runs, and 37 RBIs. So McAllister's doing exactly what he wants to do. Just hoping that the Royals can hit it at somebody.
Little flare to right center field, drops in for a base hit. Butler will hold up at second base with 2 outs. Back-to-back singles by Butler and Kane here in the second.
They need Lorenzo Cain to keep picking it up as well. Now his teammates, they give him a hard time because when he is going good, he drops them right there in that triangle. They call his teammates call it the low Cain triangle. It sits right out there, and you know a lot of hitters hit it there. But it seems like Lorenzo gets a lot of his hits in that spot, and his teammates give him a hard time about it.
And I think part of the thing is you look at him, he's a big guy, right? So you don't want to play shallow against him.
No, but here's a guy that just started playing active baseball as a sophomore in high school. I mean, he didn't play any little league or anything, so he's going to be a late bloomer. He's got a lot of potential left in him. Some see him as a 15 home run guy, maybe 20. As he evolves.
Gerard Dyson fouls the first pitch back. Tough to put a shift on him when he kind of sprays the ball all over the field. 2 outs here, bottom half of the second. 5-0. Indians on top of the Royals after a 5-run top half of the inning. Dyson takes the fastball, first strike. No balls and 2 strikes.
Kansas City hitting .260 as a team with runners in scoring position. Gerard Dyson even .300, knocking those runners in. He's more of a get on base, steal 'em type of guy. Great speed.
The 0-2 from McAllister. Change up, rolled over to first. Santana will take it to the back himself, and that'll do it here in the second. No runs on 2 hits. 2 men left on base. We played 2 here at the Big K. And it's 5-0 Indians. City 5-0 Indians, leading Nick Swisher to lead things off here against Jeremy Guthrie. And the first pitch fastball is high and outside for ball 1. Swisher grounded out to first base his first time up. Takes the pitch on the inside corner, first strike, 1-1.
Talked about Swisher not having the kind of season they were expecting out of him. Well, you know, you draw from the positives. And the positive is in this particular game is you take it one day at a time, just like you do life. Baseball and life go hand in hand. He's got some good numbers against Guthrie.
Ground ball to second. Easy play for Infante. One away.
Got to dwell on the positives in this game of negativity. It's really difficult.
It's kind of staggering, really. And when you look at Swisher's numbers, and we showed you his on base percentage below 300. I mean, he's got a career on base percentage of 358. I mean, he's been known as a guy who can work the walk, lengthy at bats, and it's just not happening this year. Yan Gomes takes the fastball in the outside corner for a strike. He's singled and scored his first time up. Gomes to right field. Kane comes in, makes the catch, 2 away, and that brings us to a game break. Let's check back in with Chris Myers. Just kidding. 2 outs here for David Murphy. And the first pitch breaking ball is in there for a strike to Murphy, who walked and scored his first time up. Good changeup. No balls and 2 strikes.
That's where he wants to keep that ball after 46 pitches in the last inning. Guthrie could use a quick one here.
The 0-2. Up and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In the air to right center field. There's Dyson coming over to make the catch, and a 1-2-3 inning work by Guthrie. Got just what he needed. A quick inning. We head to the bottom half of the third. 5-0 Indians on top. On Thursday night, Danny Duffy was in a pitcher's duel with Corey Kluber, and he was matching him almost pitch for pitch. 7 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 7 strikeouts. and just 2 walks. And we are joined now in the dugout by Danny Duffy. 5-0 Indians on top of the Royals as Alcides Escobar takes the first pitch for a strike. Danny, thanks for joining us. Just going back to Thursday night, how much fun is it to be involved in a game like that where you're dealing and your counterpart is dealing so well?
You know, it's a lot of fun. Kluber's had a heck of a year, and you know, we just knew that we had to bring our A game, you know, and there was just a lot of shenanigans going on in that game, especially in the 8th, and saw Rusty lay on his back over here last time. So it's just, you know, it's a lot of fun, and I'm glad we got the job done.
Escobar shoots one to right field, a leadoff single.
Hey, Danny, take us back to Moustakas hitting that ball down the left field line.
Oh, it was crazy. I was up in the clubhouse, and you know, we didn't know if it was fair or foul at first, and then we saw, sure enough, it dropped in fair territory, and then I'm like, okay, easy double, cool. The next thing you know, the ball's in left center field, and we're just like, go, go, go. I hadn't seen something like that in a long time, you know, or ever. And Moose is pelting me with gum right now. But it was pretty amazing. It was pretty spectacular night here at the K.
It really was a 14-inning ball game. You guys won by the score of 2-1. You've taken the first 2 games of this series. Last night won 6-4. Aoki at the plate. He takes the first pitch on the inside corner for a strike. We are speaking with Danny Duffy. Danny, I've always wondered, when you're looking at the upcoming series and you know when you're going to pitch, and you said Kluber's had a great year, and you know it's kind of the two, you know, you're going up against their best guy. Does that change your approach at all throughout the game? Do you get more hyped up for that type of an outing?
You know, as cliche as it sounds, not really, because I have confidence in our lineup and in our guys, that they could, you know, fight just as much as I'm going out there and fighting. And you know, I've heard that a lot in the past, and this year especially, I've faced a lot of really good pitchers, and they're like, you're going up against this guy or that guy or whoever it may be, and I'm just focused on the lineup. You know, I think in that situation, you just have to, you know, stay in your game plan and not try to change too much or do too much.
Danny, for those fans that don't know your strengths, you're a power left-hander. You go 97, sometimes some 98s.
Aoki, nice stop by Kipnis, trying to keep it on the infield. Escobar going for third, and he will be in there. First and third, nobody out on the infield single by Aoki.
You know, you got that power fastball, Danny, and you've developed a nice breaking ball, changeup combination. But to go with those pitches, you're a very tough competitor. You got a real strong mental disposition about you. And sometimes it was outwardly. Your first 3 years of the majors, you had a hard time harnessing that. How do you harness it right now?
You know, I just needed to realize that, I mean, I have good stuff, and I can't have better stuff than I have. And when I try to make it nastier, make it, you know, make my fastball, you know, faster, that's when I get out of my game plan. And, you know, or the lack thereof, I didn't really even have much of a game plan going in. I just tried to outstuff people, and you can't do that here. So I've learned a lot, and I've tried to mature as fast as I can, and there's been some bumps in the road. But, you know, I think I have a pretty solid game plan right now, and hopefully I just keep riding.
Well, your numbers are great so far. A 2.47 ERA, 202 opponent's batting average. It's 5-0 here in the bottom half of the third. We are speaking with Danny Duffy. The Royals threatening first and third. Nobody out for Omar Infante, who flew out to center field his first time up. The 1-0 from McAllister. Ground ball to short. There's one. Not in time for two. The Royals will score.
Sorry, boys, I'm playing cheerleaders.
Hey,
I didn't mean
that's understandable.
Danny, you're a team guy all the way. You're always encouraging the defense and everything. And the Royals have only had 2 walk-offs here at home this year. They had 6 last year. And it seems like, you know, you're always in the middle of that as far as the encouragement goes. Where'd you learn that?
You know, my whole life, I haven't really been anything but an underdog, and I still try to keep that mentality right now. And, you know, when you're an underdog, there's things that not a whole lot that's given to you. And I've been lucky enough to be blessed with the talent that I have. But I also know how lucky and you know, rare it is to get here. So I'm having a blast, and I'm just loving, you know, all my boys, loving all my teammates, and you know, we're really clicking here in the dugout. We have a lot of fun.
We're watching right now the highlights from the walk-off win on Thursday when you're hugging and jumping around with Nori Aoki. You're the first guy there.
Yeah, you know, that was a marathon game, and I was actually able to get all my work done in the training room after I pitched. by about the 12th. So I got back out here and was cheering on the boys. I felt like I had pitched, 3 days prior to that. So we got out there and we were just having a blast. And games like that, you need everything you can get. And we were just really cheering our guys on and having fun doing it.
2 away here in the third. Again, we are speaking with Danny Duffy. Runner on first is Omar Infante after the RBI fielder's choice. Salvador Perez at the plate. Danny, we look out right now, you see a good crowd. Last night, a great crowd. The last year and a half, 2 years, the fans have really come out here in Kansas City. What's it like pitching in front of these fans, when you're here at home?
It's amazing, man. I was here in 2011. That was my first year. And the fans who came with it just as hard as all these fans do now. And it's just nice to be able to, start to give the fans, what they've been asking for 25 plus years. So we take a lot of pride in what we have in our hands right now, and we really, really want it. We have a lot of guys just pushing to get this city what they deserve. So it's amazing. So
with that said, 2 balls and no strikes here to Perez with 2 outs. Trade deadline. How carefully are you watching what's going on?
I'm trying to not pay any attention to it at all, man. We don't want to have any of these guys gone, and obviously baseball is a business, but we just love the group we have. So hopefully we stick together and ride this thing out.
Well, Danny, thanks so much for joining us. Great outing on Thursday. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. Hey, happy birthday to Ethan Anderson.
Thanks so much. Happy birthday, Ethan. It's 5-1 at the end of 3 here in Kansas City. Danny Duffy's night on Thursday night. How about Corey Kluber's night? He was absolutely dealing, getting a no decision, 9 innings, just 2 hits, 1 unearned run, no walks, and 10 strikeouts. It's tough to pitch a game like that and get a no decision as the Indians lost in 14. We're joined now by Corey Kluber from the Indians dugout as Mike Aviles leads things off. And Corey, thanks for joining us. We just spoke with Danny Duffy. We asked him this question. I'll ask you. What's it like being involved in a game like that where you've got your good stuff and the opposition has his good stuff?
It's fun, it's fun to get in those games where you feel like you're doing the other guy, quick innings, all that kind of stuff, so you get to stay in your groove. Obviously, you're not going to complain about games when you get run support, but those ones are fun also.
Mike Aviles, the leadoff single. So just as we started off the last half inning, we start off this half inning, a leadoff single the other way.
Corey, that was a crazy game the other night where you went 9 strong. And then can you give us your take on Rayburn in right field or left field and what happened on that play? What was going through your mind?
You know, I mean, it's one of those things. Obviously, there's some weird things that happened in this game. That was one of them. You know, my focus afterwards is really just trying to lock back in and get through the inning, because, you know, if you can keep it at a one-run game, you always feel like you got a chance. So my goal was really just to get us back in the dugout and give us a chance to try to tie it up in the ninth.
One of the things that impresses me most about you and watching you is the fact that you don't let anything bother you. You have the same poker face out there regardless of what happens behind you, and that's really key for, you know, keeping yourself in the game and keeping your opponents off of your emotions. How have you been able to do that?
You know, I think I'm just a big believer in trying to control what I can control, and all of that really is just trying to execute a good pitch. You know, once the ball leaves your hand, you've done everything you can do. Even if you make a good pitch and the guy hits it, you know, you can't do anything about that. So, you know, as frustrating as it is, you really just got to try to move on to the next hitter, next pitch, and go about it that way, in my view.
A pretty 4-6-3 double play turn there by Infante, Escobar, and Butler, 2 away here in the fourth. This Royals team is known for their defense, and that's a second double play the Indians have grunted into here so far tonight. But we are speaking with Corey Kluber. And Corey, looking at your numbers this year, 10-6 at 2.77 ERA. This team with the pitching staff, you have been the one constant. Justin Masterson going to come back on Friday. What has it been like for you trying to shoulder that load and be the leader of this rotation right now?
I honestly, I don't view it that way. I don't think about it that way. To me, I'm just trying to go out and pitch the best I can every fifth day. You know, I think if I started thinking about other things that are really out of my control, then it becomes added pressure, which, you know, this game's hard enough as it is. You don't need to try to make it any harder on yourself.
2 balls and 1 strike, the count to Jose Ramirez, who's 2 for 2 on the night.
But, you know, you're just in your second year of Major League service, and for you to emerge this early, what has it been for you? What particular pitch is the one that's getting you to be the guy?
I mean, I think it's a matter of executing all of them. I think for me, it's important to not just rely on one pitch, to have, you know, 3 or 4 pitches that I can go to whenever I feel I need them, and have confidence in executing them.
Well, 3-1 to end the inning. Corey, we appreciate you joining us. I think it's the beard. That's a very well manicured beard. It's impressive.
Thanks.
At the end of 3.5, it's 5-1 Cleveland on top of Kansas City. Inning, Indians lead the Royals 5-1. Mike Moustakas, Billy Butler, Lorenzo Cain to face Zach McAllister. First pitch from McAllister is a fastball that misses high and outside for ball one. Moustakas grounded out to third base his first time up. The shift is on against him. Only one player on the left side of the infield. That is Mike Aviles at third. And on the hands, 1-1 strike. Let's go to Fox Vision and look at the swing of Moustakas.
Yeah, he's hot right now. He hit his team-leading 13th home run last night. Good foundation. Okay, you got to have your legs underneath you. Little rock back. You got to put some leverage on that back leg, and the hands are going to come through. But you stride out. Try not to keep it stride out too far, and you just go and catch that ball out in front of the plate if you're going to pull a homer. Let's show it again. The hands see the leverage. He's going to go forward. Head doesn't move, but his hands don't roll over. He stays through the ball right here. Catches it out in front of the plate. And that's a good sound hitting base, especially from his lower half. And that's a hot hitter.
And you saw Eric Karros, who's in studio here tonight for Fox Sports 1. He always talks about extension and where the extension is. You saw a great extension there with that back elbow is still tucked in, almost connected with his body.
That's right. But you know that bottom hand, that's the one. Bottom hand takes you right to it. Moose will take the walk.
A leadoff walk to Moustakas brings us to a game break. Let's go and check in with Chris Myers. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, that's it. I mean, Marlon Byrd, a home run. I do think he gets moved before the deadline, July 31st. As far as Cliff Lee is concerned, with Billy Butler taking the first pitch, I can see Cliff Lee being one of those guys who gets dealt after the deadline. He's got a lot of money left on the contract. He's coming back from an injury. Teams aren't sure how he's pitching, so give him a couple more starts, see what he does. And then, you know, not a lot of teams are going to want to take on that money, so that's the type of deal that can get through.
That's right. Even if it's after the deadline, as long as he's there before the rosters expand, he'll be eligible for postseason. So that's the whole key. Getting your guy that can help you in, not just to finish the season, but if your team does get to postseason, you want to have him in there. But there's an awful lot of money attached to him.
1-1 strike to Butler, who singled his first time up. And Butler, broken bat, flare to shallow right field. Kipnis going out, makes the catch. Tries to double off Moustakas. Moustakas gets back to the bat.
Marlon Byrd, he's another guy that somebody could use. You know, he's signed through next year, 36 years old, but he's got some pop and he plays with energy. An attractive bat. Bats are going to be hard to find.
Celebrate Sunday all season long with special ticket offers. Head to the ballpark with your friends and family. Go to MLB.com/Sunday. The game tomorrow here in Kansas City. Danny Salazar against Bruce Chen. 2:10 p.m. first pitch. Lorenzo Cain, line drive over the glove of Jose Ramirez in the left center. Moustakas is going to go for three. The throw comes into second, and it's first and third, one out here in the fourth. Lorenzo Cain now 2 for 2 on the night.
That's a really good piece of outfield play there by Brantley. Brantley was able to throw it right away, keeping that double play in order. That's a smart play. Let Moustakas go. Keep the double play in order for your pitcher. Smart play. Got a really nice arm. 10 outfield assists this year.
Runners on the corners, one away for Gerard Dyson.
Some outfielders get excited when they see that runner around in second, and especially when you're not a speed guy like Moose. They go ahead and take the bait and try to throw him out, and trail runner advances.
Dyson couldn't hold up on the first pitch. No balls and 1 strike. The only downside to that is Dyson's not an easy guy to double up.
Nope, he's not. So what Dyson wants to do most of the time in situations when he's leading off or something, hit the top half of the ball, utilize that speed. But right now he's looking for a ball up that he can drive.
Shoots one foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, there you have it.
Yep, he's hit into a couple this year.
0-2 the count to Dyson. 1 out. There's a leadoff walk to Moustakas, a pop out to second by Butler, a single by Kane. The 0-2 on the inside corner, called strike 3. A big strikeout right there by Zach McAllister. That is the 3rd strikeout of the game for McAllister, and 2 outs in the inning.
That's exactly what he wanted to do right there. Challenge Dyson with fastballs, go right after him. Get the strikeout. Now there's 2 outs. You can go to work on Escobar.
On at first is Lorenzo Cain. 14 for 17 in stolen bases on the season.
This game's all on McAllister right now. 57 pitches, not too bad. Pitch count's pretty good, very manageable.
Fastball tails outside for ball 1.
A lot of fastballs. That's what he'll go with 70% of the time.
Escobar singled and scored in the 3rd on the RBI fielder's choice by Omar Infante. Fouled back, 1 ball and 1 strike, 95 on the gun for McAllister. I thought it was pretty interesting what Danny Duffy said about not trying to do too much. And we're so obsessed with radar gun readings. He throws hard enough. He doesn't need to overthrow.
You're right. And that's typically what a young pitcher does when he comes to the big leagues, until he gets his feet wet and he understands that it's about location and changing speeds and using the defense behind you to get outs. You don't have to power it by and blow by everybody and turn around and look at the radar reading on the board.
Fouled back, 1 ball and 2 strikes. You look at 2 guys going to the Hall of Fame tomorrow. Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine. Didn't overpower anybody. Maddux, I was just told this recently. I never knew this, but he could get it up to 94, but he said, I don't have any control when I throw that hard. I have my control at 88 to 91. That's where I want to pitch at.
You got to believe when you hit your spots like he did, and he uses that defense, he was extremely smart, and that's what got him to the Hall, not the power. His smarts. Glavine, he was a finesse lefty. Early in his career, he threw hard. He threw mid-90s early.
McAllister bounces one over to first base. And that's dangerous because Moustakas is on at 3rd.
Lorenzo Cain, he'll run. He's got 14 stolen bases. Been caught 3 times. Two strikes. Escobar's just going to shorten up his swing and try to place it somewhere.
1-2, just placing it to shallow right field. Drops in for the base hit. Cain goes to 3rd. Nobody's at second. Good base running there by Escobar as he takes the extra base.
That's what you do if you're not a power threat. You just try to shorten up your swing, put it out there, and that's exactly what Escobar did. And he took second base on Murphy. Talked about how the runners sometimes will bait you to try to throw him out, but you see that he was off balance, but he was able to keep his head on the ball and go right with the pitch. And with Lorenzo Cain's speed, there wasn't a chance that he was going to be able to throw him out at third base. So alertly, Escobar moved up. So now second and third and 2 outs. And McAllister have to find a way to get out of this one. They're going to get right back in this game.
Nori Aoki had the infield single his last time up. Second and third, 2 outs. A 5-2 ball game, bottom half of the 4th. Inside with a fastball. 1 ball and no strikes. A base hit right here could make it a 1-run game. The key for McAllister, avoid the crooked number. Gave up 1 in the 3rd. He's given up 1 so far here in the 4th. 2 balls and no strikes.
Defensively, Cleveland's playing him straight up. That's what you do. Outfielders are going to pull him in a little bit and be a little bit shallow on him. But Aoki, he's a type of hitter. He's a spray hitter. He hits a lot of balls to the left side of the infield and doesn't like to pull the ball unless you make him.
Kane at third, Escobar at second. The 2-0. In their first strike, 2-1.
A lot of pitchers been pitching Aoki inside. He's got 15 RBIs is all he's got this season, so he's not really a run producer.
You can see the averages climb each time through the order against McAllister.
Most of the time that's typical after you've seen the guy once or twice. You get to see what he's got. Hitters will have a better idea that third time around.
2-1, fouled back out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So McAllister, he just wants to stay hard, stay firm on Aoki. Maybe another inside fastball. Make him fight it off. Sometimes when you throw that off-speed pitch, it speeds the bat up of a guy like Aoki, and then he can place it somewhere.
2-2. Trying to go inside. Misses inside. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Staying hard in on him.
That leadoff walk came around to score, which it does so often. It's amazing how that works out. 1 run in, second and third, 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count here to Aoki. The payoff pitch. Pulled inside, fair. That'll score 2. Aoki at second. He's going to try for 3. He's going to be in there easily. A 2-run triple for Aoki. It's 5-4.
Lots of times when you are a hitter and you know that pitcher's coming in consistently with that inside fastball, you start saying, all right, if you're going to come in there, I'm going to look in there. And that's a classic example of a hitter that was able to make the adjustment and he turned on it. Instead of going to the opposite field, hits his 3rd triple with a couple of stakes on board.
On a 3-2 pitch, able to pull it just inside the bag at first base. Terry Francona came out to speak with Paul Emmel. Nothing there. It's a 1-run game.
Let's show you our Phantom Cam we're so proud of. It's a beautiful shot. It slows everything down. You can see it's a really nice bend there, but to get that inside pitch, you got to hit it out in front, and that's exactly what he did. Obviously knew it was coming. McAllister threw him 3 or 4 fastballs right on the inside part of the plate in that sequence of pitches there in that at bat. And Aoki just made the adjustment, pulled his hands in, short to the ball, got his team back in the game.
5-4, and Omar Infante at the plate with a tying run 90 feet away. Gets past Gomes. Here comes Aoki. We're tied up at 5. A pass ball charge to Yan Gomes. And just like that, it's a 5-5 ball game.
Wow. Wheels starting to fall off for Cleveland in this inning. Now that's a ball that's easily handleable, right? He can handle that ball 10 out of 10 times. He's going to catch that. Sometimes that's what happens in the game when the momentum is swinging towards the opponent's dugout, and that's what's happening. Royals have gotten their crowd in the game.
Out in the bullpen, Nick Hagedorn warming up. It's now 3 balls and no strikes to Omar Infante.
And you mentioned it. It was that leadoff walk to Moustakas. That's what McAllister didn't want to do. With that big lead, just go out there and throw strikes, make the hitters put it in play, and let the defense go to work. And sometimes that'll open up a door.
Trying to avoid the crooked number. Fastball called for a strike on the outside corner. 3-1 to Infante. Zach McAllister pitched last Saturday at Detroit in game 2 of a doubleheader. He was a 26th man on the roster for that doubleheader. Was then sent down to AAA. Did not pitch down there because they knew they were going to use him here today. Up high, ball 4. Second walk of the inning issued by McAllister.
Might be a little strong when you haven't pitched in a while like that. Sometimes that can take a pitcher out of the game or out of his rhythm. I'm not sure that's the case, but Francona going to send Mickey Callaway out. Have a talk with McAllister and see if he can stop all this mess here with 2 outs.
And right now, I mean, the job for McAllister is get out of this inning. It's a tie game, 5-5. Yeah, you're frustrated. You had a 5-0 lead. You gave that away, but your team is still in it. Get out of this inning and let your offense get back on the field.
That's right. No question about it. It's kind of like the second inning that the Cleveland Indians had on Jeremy Guthrie. They scored all their runs, 5 of them in the second inning, and most of them with 2 outs. Guthrie couldn't get out of the inning. Same situation now for McAllister here in the 4th inning.
4 runs in the inning. Alex Gordon at the plate, who's 0 for 2. Gordon struck out and fouled out to third. And the first pitch is fouled back, 0-1.
Alex is 4 for 14 with a home run off McAllister in his career. He had a rip there on it. A little bit up. McAllister wants to keep the ball down. Utilize that defense that's shifted over in the infield. 3 fielders on the right side. We see a lot of the shifting now this year. Justin, what do you think about that?
Honestly?
Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it? Most guys, you're seeing most managers use that triangle defense. Oh, Phil Jackson motto in basketball. And gosh, almost every left-handed hitter that's got any kind of power, you're seeing them shift that whole infield, even usually just 2 guys on the left side of the field. Shortstop and the third baseman and the right fielder or left fielder.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Honestly, it's guys without power and they're shifting on them. It's almost everybody they're shifting on. Sooner or later, you're going to see players wearing wristbands to find out the players and move over.
Alex Gordon has seen a shift on him 140 times this year.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Gordon. In the dirt, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And it's a percentage thing. Everybody has hitters charts. The opponents, they know where they make outs. I mean, from 2-3 years ago, they have charts. Information is way overloaded at times.
4 runs in the inning for Kansas City. Infante on at first, 2 outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes here to Alex Gordon. Missing inside, 3-2, and now Infante will be off with a pitch. You see Gordon, what he has done this year is hits by direction. Came in batting .276 on the season. There goes the run of the 3-2, ground ball right side. Kipnis comes up, makes the play, and that'll do it. But the Royals fight all the way back. Nori Aoki, the big 2-run triple. He scores on a pass ball. We're tied up at 5 at the end of 4. Indians jumped out to a 5-0 lead. The Royals got a run back in the third and 4 in the fourth. It'll be Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana, and Chris Dickerson to face Jeremy Guthrie, who's got to feel so much better knowing that his team has gotten him back in the game. Brantley had the RBI double his last time up.
Veteran pitchers, especially Guthrie, they know how this game works. Sometimes early in the game, stuff may not be there, or your location may not be there. But as the game evolves, you have a chance. He sees what's going on. He can start hitting his spots again, saying, you know what, our team's back in it, and they were counting on me. Early countouts.
Fastball misses inside. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Brantley. Grounded into a double play his first time up. The RBI double back in the second. 64 RBIs on the season now. Brantley pops one up, shallow left. Escobar going out. Gordon coming in. Gordon calls him off and makes the catch for the first out.
Okay, did you see Escobar put his hand in the air? Infielders are trained not to say a word. Now you can make an outward sign that you have a ball and you have it, but you want to listen for the outfielder's call. Escobar right now, he's saying I'm going to take it, but then he hears Gordon and he backs off right away. Outfielders have priority, although Escobar is calling for it here. and you know, when your back's to the outfielder, that outfielder can't hear you calling it. That's why infielders don't say a word typically.
One away now for Santana. On the outside corner, first strike. Started off with a changeup. No balls and 1 strike. Santana solo shot in the second, also walked in the second. Yes, that's right. Both his plate appearances came in the same inning as the Indians batted around. 0-1, yanked foul, and that might need a new bat.
Boy, you hope that wasn't that bat that got these 3 home runs in less than 24 hours. But that might have been the bat that just broke. But man, he's powerful with it. Most of those pitches, all mistakes right out over the middle of the plate. Pitches that most hitters aren't going to miss, especially Santana, who's in a great streak right now. Tribe really needs him to pick it up. Keep doing what he's doing.
Do you think he called that bat Wonder Boy?
He might have. But you know, looking at this bat that he's got now, it's almost identical. So you're going to break in a backup bat and another one. Usually guys have 3 or 4 gamers they'll have out there in the rack at one time. So you're going to test drive them. So I don't know too many ball players that take them right out of the box and use them in a game. Mostly they're test driven.
0-2 is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Santana. Santana opened this year as a third baseman, was a DH, now playing first base for the Indians. Changeup is pulled down the right field line. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Santana's going to head to second, and his hot hitting continues. He's got a home run and a double in the ball game. A 1-out double here for Santana.
I mentioned before the game that Guthrie will flip a little curveball up there. He'll slow it down, and that was the one. Just left it up. So he slows that down. 67 miles an hour. He's not fooled. That front foot keeps you from going too far forward with your weight. Keep your hands back, and you can hit that ball if it's a hanger like that one was. Nice stroke. He's hot. Be careful with him.
I don't get that pitch with 2 strikes.
He didn't want it up. He wanted to get that ball down and hoping that he could swing over the top of it. So it was a mistake that was hit by a hot hitter. See how he uses that front leg right there to hold his weight back so he can keep the hands there and they can strike.
No balls, 1 strike here to Dickerson, who struck out both times tonight.
I'll be surprised if they pitch to Santana with any runners on here the rest of this game. When you get a hot hitter like that, you can't let him beat you. Dickerson been a nice pickup for Francona, especially with Michael Bourne being out. Plays a good defense, got a little bit of speed. Got some pop.
Hit 2 home runs last Saturday against Max Scherzer.
Ooh.
Yeah. Trying to catch Santana sleeping there at second. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Dickerson. 1 away in the top of the 5th. All tied up at 5. The 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Dickerson. An ongoing conversation with Santana and Escobar down there by second. 2-2. Dickerson lofts one to left field. Gordon there, 2 away. Time for a game break. Let's go back to LA. Chris, what do you have for us? All right, thanks so much, Chris. Curtis Granderson signed the deal in the offseason with the Mets. Got off to a slow start. He's starting to play better for New York. The Cardinals trail Milwaukee. A lot of talk about whether or not they would make a deal for David Price. But again, as we talked about before, the way the Rays are playing, trying to go for 9 in a row, it doesn't look like they make the deal. Swisher, first pitch, ground ball to Guthrie. And that'll do it here in the 5th. No runs on a hit, 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom half of the 5th inning here in Kansas City. It's 5-5 Indians and Royals. Now that's a Royals fan. The Mohawk dyed blue. Salvador Perez will lead things off here in the 5th. It'll be 4-5-6 against Zach McAllister. First pitch is outside for ball 1. Perez 0 for 2 on the night. A ground out and a pop out.
Royals offense milked 33 pitches from McAllister in that last inning. Just like the Cleveland Indians offense did to Guthrie. 46 in the 2nd.
One ball, 1 strike here to Perez. Sharply hit ground ball up the middle. A leadoff single for Perez. Salvador Perez, a big turn. Salvador Perez has a big personality. He interviewed Mike Moustakas about that double and the error and the run scored on Thursday night.
We're here with Mike Moustakas. How you doing, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing good, Nino. How are you doing?
Bueno, papi, bueno. Hey, tell me something. Tell me about 14 innings yesterday. You got that he scored. Well, you never see something like that before?
Poppy, yesterday was a very long game, you know, especially against Kluber. But, you know, I hit the double down the line, and, you know, we scored a run. I don't know what happened out there. But, Poppy, I was tired when I got back to home plate. And Dyson, he gave me a fan. You know, it was very good for me.
Well, it was very good for him. It was very good for the Royals as they won that game in 14. We've got a pitching change here. McAllister's night is done. Hagedorn is in. Back after this. The new pitcher is Nick Hagedorn. Comes in relief of Zach McAllister. 1-0 at 2.84 ERA and 6 in the third inning so far this year. Started off Mike Moustakas with a ball up high. Moustakas is 0 for 1, a walk and a run scored. Fastball misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes.
What the Royals will be seeing from Hagedorn, 92 to 96 with a good fastball, hard slider, and occasional split fingers.
Perez led off the inning with a single. That was the end of the night for McAllister. And now it's 3 balls and no strikes. Hagedorn has that unorthodox delivery, that unorthodox throwing motion.
He's got some deception. Hitters call it funky.
Taking all the way, takes a strike, 3-1. This bullpen has been so taxed for Cleveland all year long. And here they have to go to it again in the bottom half of the 5th. Moustakas on 3-1, pops one up left side of the infield. Long run for Aviles. Aviles comes over to make the catch. With that shift on, Hagedorn almost had to make the catch. Aviles says, I got your back. One away.
Yeah, when that shift is on like that and a left-handed hitter pops it up, that third baseman He's got a long run, or some shortstops that are over there. Now, Aviles, he went back initially. Hagedorn says, well, am I going to make this play or not? You don't want the pitcher to have to make a play like that.
You can tell Hagedorn did not want to make that play. The way he was setting up for it, he's like, please let somebody else come over here. Please let somebody else come over here.
He wanted no part of that. There was a play earlier in Cleveland this year that Kansas City Royals shortstop Escobar ran a long way for one of those on a pull shift. Pretty impressive. Watch this. Alcides Escobar on the shift is on. There's that pop-up. Who's going to get to it?
That's the hang time of a great punt.
Can you believe that? The ground he covered in that amount of time. That's a spectacular catch.
No balls and one strike here to Butler. Butler gets into one. Forget about it.
Billy's back.
Back-to-back games with a home run for Billy Butler. A pinch hit home run last night. A huge two-run home run here tonight.
Now, last night's pitch was elevated a little bit higher, but this one here, it's down, straight out over the plate. Billy Butler, last night, just his 4th home run, might have found his home run swing. Talked to Ned Yost, his manager, before the game about that, and he said he hopes so.
Almost identical location as last night's home run. This one traveled 433 feet, 9 feet further than last night's home run. And up to the plate steps Lorenzo Cain. Cain takes the first pitch fastball outside for ball 1.
Ned Yost, he's got to feel pretty good about Billy Butler starting to show some power production that's been lacking all season. That was almost as loud as last night's home run.
Cain pulls it foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Royals trailed 5-0. They scored a run in the 3rd to make it 5-1. 4 in the 4th to tie it up at 5, and now they've taken a lead. Here, the 2-run home run by Billy Butler, climbing all the way back. And speaking of climbing all the way back, want to say get well to Coach Foster back in Charlotte. Had heart surgery a couple weeks ago. He's fighting all the way back. We're thinking about you.
Hang in there, Coach.
2 balls and a strike here to Lorenzo Cain.
It's the first home run that Hagedorn has given up to a right-handed batter this year.
He won't forget that one either.
Nope.
Fouled back, 2 balls and 2 strikes. This Royals team, you look at their stats and you say, okay, there's been a kind of a power outage this year. Not against the Indians.
For some reason. And a lot of numbers in baseball you just can't explain. But they're hot against the Tribe as far as the long ball goes.
Pulled foul, stays 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cain.
And that's another thing. The Tribe has been pounded in the last 20 games here at Kauffman Stadium since July 31st of 2012. 15-5 record the Royals have here at the K on Cleveland. And that's another number that you can't explain.
Another 2-2. Got him with a fastball. 2 outs here in the inning. Chevrolet invites you to participate in a special charity auction where MLB fans can bid on a Corvette Stingray autographed by All-Stars. You can bid now at ChevyBaseball.com.
Autographed Corvette? Are you kidding me? Ooh, man. Where do you sign up?
Gerard Dyson squares around a bunt, pulls it back to take the pitch for a ball. The 1-0. Pop foul out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Salvador Perez led off the inning against Zach McAllister with a single. That knocked McAllister out. Hagedorn came in, got Moustakas to pop out to third. Then Billy Butler, the big 2-run home run. Breaking ball in the inside corner, 1-2. On June 3rd, the Royals played in St. Louis. They trailed 4-0. They went on to win that game 8-7. And Dyson goes down swinging to end the inning. But Billy Butler, for the second night, hits a big home run to almost the identical location. And this time, it gives the Royals another lead, 7-5 at the end of 5. Run gives the Royals the 7-5 lead, top of the 6th inning. It's 7-8-9. Yan Gomes, David Murphy, Mike Aviles to face Jeremy Guthrie, who fell behind 5-0. And his team has climbed all the way back. All 5 runs in the second for the Indians. And the first pitch to Gomes is pulled foul. 0-1.
Better watch out down there. Bring your glove, somebody. Ball comes in hot.
I hope everyone's all right.
Yeah, looked like a pinball in there.
The 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
So if you're Cleveland, you just start pecking away. Get a couple of runners on. Nice for them to, if they want to get back in it, to have a long ball. But if you can't, do all you can to get on base.
Guthrie's 1-1. High and outside, 2 balls and a strike. Gomes singled and scored back in the second, lined out to right field his last time up. It was a pitcher's duel on Thursday night. Not so much here tonight. Outside, 3-1.
Cleveland Indians really like Yan Gomes. They gave him a nice contract extension, spring training, making him pretty much their catcher of the future. Really nice power. Calls a good game. Throws out over 30% of runners. What else do you want out of a catcher?
Scott Downs throwing in the bullpen now for the Royals. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Gomes, leading off here in the 6th. And timeout taken. Now Perez will go out and speak with Jeremy Guthrie.
3-2 right here. He's probably talking about the location more than anything. They might talk about what pitches they're going to throw, but when in doubt, talk it out. 3-2.
Is that your motto? When in doubt, talk it out?
No question about it. Salvador Perez, as young as he is, he's playing like he's a mature 28, 29-year-old catcher. He's only 24, but he has a good idea.
The payoff pitch. Gomes fouls one down the right field line out of play.
Stayed with the fastball. Gomes, he has a natural uppercut to his swing. One of the reasons why he's able to elevate some pitches or get him in the air on swing, on contact.
Another 3-2. Fouls back again. The next pitch is number 100 here for Guthrie. Look at that. 46 pitches in that 2nd inning. And since then, much better is an understatement.
I mean, it didn't look like Guthrie was going to make it through 4 innings. At that particular time, it looked like they were really getting to him.
And now he strikes out Gomes to open up the 6th. The McDonald's winning ingredients game summary. Carlos Santana homered yet again. Aoki, a huge 2-run triple. The Indians took that 5-0 lead. A 4-run 4th for the Royals, and then the home run by Billy Butler in the 5th, and it's 7-5. No balls and 1 strike here to David Murphy, who's 0 for 1. A walk, a run scored, and a fly out to center. A 1-hopper eats up Infante, gets past him. We'll have to see what this will be ruled. It's going to be a base hit for David Murphy.
Well, I'm a little bit surprised that Infante didn't pick that. As good a hands as he's got. That's one of the toughest plays for an infielder. Ball hits in no man's land. About 8 feet in front of you. You pretty much try to place your glove where you believe the ball is going to end up. And sometimes it's 50-50. And he just missed it from going in the webbing of his glove. Great shot there.
Runner on first now for Mike Aviles, who's 2 for 2. Aviles, a late entry into that starting lineup for the Indians. Lonnie Chisenhall was slated to play 3rd base here tonight. He was a late scratch due to illness, so Aviles stepped in, and all he's done is gone 2 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI.
Sometimes when you're a role player like Aviles is, that's the best time to find out when you're going to be playing. You're not sitting around the whole game with anxiety. If you're starting, you're going, oh man, you're in your game mode. But when you're not playing, you're free and easy, you're loose. The next thing you know, the skipper calls you in and says, hey, you're in there. Game's in 15, 20 minutes. You're in. So I didn't have time to get all worked up. Just go out there and play the game. Keep it simple. That's what he's doing.
Throw back over to first. Murphy's back in safely.
Aviles is a guy who does not lack confidence. He's a confident player. You have to have that.
Aviles in the air to center. Dyson coming in. Calls off Alex Gordon to make the catch. 2 away. Time for a game break. Let's go back to Chris Myers in L.A. All right, thanks so much, Chris. Back here in KC, it's 7-5, and we're going to have a pitching change here. Jeremy Guthrie battled. He's in line for the win as Scott Downs comes in for the bullpen. Jeremy Guthrie getting high fives as he goes to the dugout. Hud, you mentioned this. His Twitter handle is the real J Guts. He showed his guts to stay out there after throwing over 40 pitches in the second inning, giving up 5 runs. He now is in line for the win if his team can hang on.
Well, I'll tell you, offense to the rescue. They picked him up big time.
First pitch breaking ball from Scott Downs to Jason Kipnis spins in there for a strike. Downs on the season 0-3 with a 5.46 ERA. 18 walks, 25 strikeouts, and 31 in the third innings.
Those are combined numbers with the White Sox and then now with the Royals. With Kansas City against lefties, Downs has only given up 2 hits and 16 at bats, so he's done a pretty good job. That's what he's in Ned Yost's bullpen for. Situational lefty, fastball, big curveball, occasional changeups to righties.
No balls and 2 strikes. The count to Kipnis. On the follow through.
I believe it was the dirt from the foul ball that got in Salvi's eyes.
Breaking ball misses outside. 1-2.
Looked like his backswing missed him, didn't it?
Murphy on at first. 2 outs here in the 6th. Fastball is pulled foul. Do it again at 1 ball and 2 strikes. A 2-run double back in the 2nd for Kipnis. He has struck out and grounded it into a double play. The Indians have lost 3 in a row to fall to 51-52 on the season. Another 1-2. Missing down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Indians, they were ahead 5-0. Now they trail, so trying to come from behind for a victory. 3rd in the majors with 27 come from behind victories.
So that tells me these guys are in it. They're saying we got a chance. We might have the Royals right where we want them.
Ground ball second, and Fonte will go to first for the out, and that'll do it here in the 6th. No runs on a hit, 1 man left on. 7-5. Royals lead the Indians through 5.5. Baseball Hall of Fame weekend in Cooperstown, the Royals Hall of Fame here at Kauffman Stadium. And of course, you think about the Royals, you think about number 5, George Brett.
That's a great exhibit they have here at the K. They have their Hall of Fame. It's really a special thing to see if you get to come to the K.
And these guys are all going in. Our colleague at Fox Sports, Frank Thomas, congratulations, joining a couple of phenomenal pitchers, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, their manager, Bobby Cox, Joe Torre, and Tony La Russa. Scott Atchison, the new pitcher here for the Indians. Atchison, he's like old reliable for this ball club. Alcides Escobar to shortstop. Ramirez able to handle it. 1 away.
You know, I got to tell you, playing against all 3 of those players, you know, facing both pitchers and then playing against Big Hurt, it really makes me feel great to be able to have come up in have my era in the 80s and 90s and then got to play for Joe Torre. So it's really special to see guys that you played against eventually get into the Hall. It's really an awesome feeling.
I think what's so cool is that Maddux, Glavine, and Bobby Cox go in the same year.
Oh, there'll be a huge Braves fans contingency there.
Aoki, first pitch, pops one up to shortstop. Ramirez makes the catch, 2 away. Major League Baseball and its 30 clubs congratulate the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum as it celebrates its 75th anniversary this weekend with the induction. The men we just mentioned, Bobby Cox, Tony La Russa, Joe Torre, Tom Glavine, Greg Maddux, and Frank Thomas. Baseball salutes the 2014 Hall of Fame inductees and their families on receiving this tremendous honor.
Tomorrow.
2 away for Omar Infante. Takes the first pitch for a strike. You know, I've never been to Cooperstown to the Hall of Fame.
Haven't?
I haven't. I have to go.
Got to put that on your bucket list. It's pretty special.
No balls and 2 strikes here to Infante.
Especially the whole town. It's a really small, quaint town.
Yeah.
It's on a beautiful lake there, Oswego Lake. A lot of fun.
The Otis saga in.
Yep.
You know, I actually went to Cooperstown when I was in 6th grade over the winter time. We went to the Howe Caverns and all this stuff. We went to the baseball card shops in town. We never went to the Hall of Fame.
It's
Infante to left field. Dickerson has plenty of room. And a 1-2-3 inning is worked by Scott Atchison. We've played 6 here in Kansas City. The Royals lead the Indians 7-5. In Kansas City, 7-5. Royals on top of the Indians. Justin Kutcher alongside Rex Hudler. Scott Downs will face 2, 3, 4 in the order for the Indians. Jose Ramirez, a switch hitter. Then Michael Brantley, a lefty. And Carlos Santana, a switch hitter. All the damage for the Indians was done in that second inning. A 5-run second inning for the Indians. And nothing since.
the Tribe. They don't quit. We showed you their third best come from behind record, along with those runs.
Ramirez thought about a bunt, pulled it back, and takes the pitch for a strike. Jose Ramirez 2 for 3. A single back in the first, an infield single in the second, and a ground out in the fourth inning.
You know, that's pretty impressive when you see that many runs scored from the 7th inning on. That tells you that the Tribe has been jumping on the opposing bullpens. They're getting in that pen. 168 runs. That's the most in the majors. So the Indians are nowhere out of this one.
Backdoor breaking ball misses outside. 2-1. Again, Jose Ramirez getting time at shortstop. As Asdrubal Cabrera, he's out with those back spasms. There's a thought he might play tomorrow. He might get tomorrow off as well. The 2-1. Outside, 3 balls and 1 strike. Ken Rosenthal today, this morning on Twitter, said how there is interest in Asdrubal Cabrera on the trade market.
No question. This time of year, names are swirling in every clubhouse. We interviewed Duffy and Corey Kluber from both teams, and Duffy, you mentioned it to Duffy about the trade rumors, and he says, I don't even want to talk about it.
You know, it's funny because last week I'm working with Mark DeRosa, and he said, oh, I paid attention. He goes, I was off on a guy who might be moved.
Exactly. Yeah. But, you know, players, they like their names being heard. It gives them a little extra incentive to continue to push hard. Because doesn't everybody want to be wanted?
Absolutely. A leadoff walk to Jose Ramirez. And time now for the Game Changer Profile, brought to you by T-Mobile, the official sponsor of Game Changers. Michael Brantley, he has become a game changer, both defensively and offensively. You see 10 outfield assists on the season. And of course, at the plate, average, power, RBIs. A first-time All-Star this year for the Indians.
He is an impact player, and it hasn't always been that way. He's just now coming into his own, and it takes sometimes a position player 3 years, maybe 4 years before you finally become the guy that you believe you could always become. Comes with confidence and production.
Pulls the first pitch foul. We sometimes get spoiled when you see the likes of a Mike Trout, Yasiel Puig, Bryce Harper, Giancarlo Stanton, guys who come up and they produce right away.
Yeah, it sets a high bar, but it also spoils it for the rest of the young players coming in, because everybody, you know, they're going, well, these guys can do it. How come you can't? This game's not easy.
Brantley pulls one through the hole on the right side. Ramirez will hold up at second. First and second, nobody out in the seventh here for Cleveland. And look who's coming up.
Yep, but Ned Yost, he sees who's coming up too, and he's saying, I think I'm going to go to my power arm in the bullpen.
Kelvin Herrera has been warming up in the bullpen. And Ned Yost not going to take any chances. A pitching change here at Kauffman Stadium. Herrera's coming in. Top of the seventh, first and second, no outs. 7-5 game. Ball game. The new pitcher into the game for the Royals is Kelvin Herrera. A power arm out of the bullpen. 2-2, a 1.88 ERA. 43 innings. 33 strikeouts. 18 walks. What's amazing about this guy, and I know all the Royals fans out there are going to cringe when I say this. The last time he gave up a home run was July 26th of 2013. Exactly a year ago to the day. 68 innings without a home run, and now he faces the hottest hitter in the Indians lineup, and that's Carlos Santana, who has a home run here tonight. He had 2 home runs last night, and if you look at what he's done this year, he's got much better power numbers from the left side than he does from the right side.
Red hot. Now you talk about power. Kelvin Herrera has a fastball that reaches 100. He'll stay 95 to 100 in that range. Good two-seamer. He'll throw up in the middle of the plate, and it tails off. Extreme movement. He's got an excellent changeup to go with that. At 88 to 91 is his changeup. And he's got a little overhand curve that he'll try to mix in just to keep him honest.
First and second, nobody out. Santana at the plate. And he starts him off with a breaking ball up high for ball one.
So power on power here. Showed you the numbers the Tribe has from the 7th inning on. Most in baseball. 168 runs. Tribe fans are hopeful.
Ramirez led off with a walk. Brantley a single, both against Scott Downs. Now it's Herrera against Santana. Fastball in the inside corner for a strike at 97.
And it's not like they're going to try to pitch around him. When you are gifted with that type of velocity on your fastball, that's a weapon that even a hot hitter has really got to focus on hitting.
The 1-1. Fastball fouled back. 99, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You can see there's not a lot of room to miss when you're swinging it. At 99, Justin, I'm going to tell you, it is a gnat second. That ball, that's how long you have to see it when it comes that hard.
The 1-2. Popped up. Shallow left. Escobar calls for it. Infield fly rule in effect. Makes the catch for the first out of the inning. A big first out by Kelvin Herrera. Chris Dickerson 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts and a fly out to left. Nice pick there by Perez. 1 ball, no strikes.
Both bullpens that we're seeing in tonight's game are very strong. And what's evident about that is that in the 7th inning, the Royals are 40-1 with the lead after 7th. The Tribe, they're 39-1 with the lead after 7th. So it's turned out to be a bullpen matchup here.
2 balls and no strikes. There was a 5-0 Cleveland lead, then 5-1. Kansas City tied it up 5-5 by scoring 4 in the 4th. A 2-run home run by Billy Butler in the 5th inning is the difference right now in this game. Butler getting the start at first base with Eric Hosmer still out. 2-0. Dickerson late on that fastball. Fly ball to left. Gordon adjusts, makes the catch, 2 away.
Okay, this is the time of the evening in ballparks when it's twilight, and a lot of outfielders will lose that ball when it's up there. So it's important for infielders to be able to point out that ball to the outfielder. If he loses it, you can see the infielder pointing at it. Got to back each other up. Alex, he looked like he had a hard time seeing that one off the bat. See, he's checking it out. He's telling Dyson right now, better come over and help me out on a fly ball.
How impressed are you with Gordon? Came up as a third baseman, now a Gold Glove left fielder.
No, he takes a lot of pride in his business, not just as a left fielder, but as a hitter. He gets well conditioned. He's a lot like Dustin Pedroia of Boston. Guys are dedicated to their profession. And you mentioned third base. He's been able to use that to win those 3 consecutive Gold Gloves out there with his footwork. He'll make a lot of outfield assists on the run, like you would do as an infielder, right, where you pick up that ball and throw it. So his footwork is impeccable out there in left field.
1 ball, no strikes to Nick Swisher, who's 0 for 3 with 3 groundouts. Takes the pitch on the outside corner, a changeup, 1-1.
Now you talk about the speed contrast between a pitcher, which is really good to throw the hitter's timing off. 88 to 99. That's a good difference in off speed from his fastball and his changeup. One of the reasons he's so difficult to square up.
Goes back to 100 and blows it right past Swisher. But Swisher was looking for that fastball. Big hack by Nick Swisher.
That's what you have to do facing Herrera. Anybody who throws hard. And until you get to 2 strikes, and then you still have to look fastball, but then you adjust. Just try to get a piece of a breaking ball. But you can't go up there looking for an off-speed pitch when the guy throws that hard, or you'll never catch it.
The 1-2 from Herrera. And Swisher stays alive. Kelvin Herrera came in first and second, nobody out. Got Carlos Santana to pop out to short. Chris Dickerson to fly out to left, and now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Swisher. Not a bad weapon to have here in the 7th inning for Ned Yost and this Royals team. Another 1-2. Got him swinging. Herrera comes in, does the job. It's stretch time here in Kansas City. 7-5, Royals on top. Did top half of the inning, first and second, nobody out. Retires the next 3 batters. The Geico in-game box score here for the Royals. Billy Butler 2 for 3, a 2-run home run and a single. Couple of hits for Kane, for Escobar, Aoki with that big 2-run triple as well. A new pitcher into the game here for the Indians, Mark Zepchinski. 49 games, 0-3, a 3.60 ERA. 35 innings, 15 walks, 31 strikeouts, and he'll face Alex Gordon to open up the bottom half of the 7th.
Zepchinski, fastball 87 to 91 miles an hour. He sinks it. A little curveball, changeup. Wants to hold those Royals down. Can't afford to give him any more, because one of the strengths of the Kansas City Royals is the back end of their bullpen with Wade Davis and Greg Holland. A very difficult tandem to score runs off of.
One ball, 1 strike here to Gordon. 0 for 3 on the night, a strikeout, a foul out, and a ground out. Tailing inside. Did he offer? He did offer, says third base umpire Jordan Baker. The ball also hit Gordon, and Gordon's saying, wait, what? I don't get first base? He offered on the pitch.
We'll have to see it again. Looks like it hit him in the forearm, right off of his wristband. And I don't understand why he's not getting his base. I guess Jerry Meals, home plate umpire, thought it hit the bat.
Well, no, there was the appeal to third base. Jordan Baker, they said he offered on the swing.
Oh, man, but it hit him before he swung. Well, at least Gordon's okay to finish his at bat.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Gordon. Did he offer on that one? Not this time, says Jordan Baker. You know, if he said yes, this place would have gone nuts against him. He held up. Good call. 2-2, just got a piece of it.
You know, for a long time, I always thought is if the bat head crossed the plate, that was considered swinging at the pitch. But it's not that way. Talking to many umpires, they'll tell you it's in their interpretation, if the hitter offers, if he offers and it looks like he made an attempt to swing, that's considered a swing. So it doesn't have anything to do with the bat head crossing home plate.
Just missing outside with a fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Zepchinski, he's done a nice job out of the bullpen for Francona. Hasn't allowed a run in 37 of 49 games this year.
The 3-2. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Time for a game break. Let's go back to LA and check in with Chris Myers. All right, thanks, Chris. It is a 7-5 ball game here, bottom half of the 7th. Royals lead the Indians, trying to make it 3 in a row here in this series. Salvador Perez, 1 for 3, a single and a run scored back in the 5th, came around on a 2-run homer by Billy Butler. How about the Oakland A's and the type of baseball they're playing? 63-39 on the season.
A lot of energy on that ball club. I mean, they're a
bunch of grinders.
Yeah, they're energetic. They got power. They pitch. No doubt it's the most well-balanced team in baseball. Can they hold off the Angels, though? They've been really strong offensively. 20 games over 500, the Halos.
Perez swings over that pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike. I love the fact that Billy Beane went for it. Getting Jeff Samardzija. Getting Hamill, adding depth to that rotation, looking at a guy like Samardzija saying, you know what, come playoff time, you want that power pitcher.
Yeah, no question about it. That was a move that was done, you know, several weeks ago. But you got to commend the Angels, too, for going out there and trying to shore up the back end of their bullpen with Jason Grilly and Houston Street. A couple of guys they can sit in there and know if they have a lead. Chances are they're going to get a closer to shut it down out of one of them 2 guys.
How about a trade made today between the Red Sox and the Giants? Jake Peavy goes back to the NL West to pitch for his former manager and Bruce Bochy.
I saw that.
I don't know if there is a GM in baseball who's better over the last 5 years or so as Perez swings over that slider. He strikes out, back-to-back strikeouts for Zepchinski. Then Brian Sabean at midseason or deadline deals, and getting those deadline deals to pay off through the stretch run into the playoffs.
You know what? General managers, they are really busy all year round. No question about it. It's a busy job. But once they formulate their team in spring, they kind of see how it goes in the spring. They consummate deals in spring if they need to. And then they let the first 2 or 3 months ride. And then their next big job is to see if their team is a buyer or a seller. And then they're on the phones all the time.
Mike Moustakas at the plate. First pitch swings over the fastball. 0-1. Moustakas 0 for 2. A walk, a run scored, a ground out, and a pop out.
How about Zepchinski? He means business. He is mowing the Royals down.
How many times throughout the course of his life do you think his last name was mispronounced?
Oh, I'm telling you, all the time, I'm sure. All those letters in that name.
Wonder how long it took him to spell his last name. I mean, Hudler, that's easy.
Oh, are you kidding? Oh, it would be unbelievable. Especially, imagine signing your autograph. All, you know, big, long names. You know, Eddie Murray, the great Hall of Famer, he taught me a long time ago when I was with the Orioles where to sign on a baseball. The smaller part is designed for the shorter names. leave the fat part of the baseball for the guys like Zepchinski.
1-2, and Zepchinski strikes out the side here in the 7th. A 1-2-3 inning work by Zepchinski. We go to the 8th, 7-5. Kansas City on top. Wade Davis has been lights out for these Royals, the 8th inning guy. And what a difference he has made for this ball club. Wade Davis to Greg Holland. Maybe the best 1-2 punch in all of baseball.
Pretty incredible, the strikeouts and innings pitched by Davis. He's getting it done with a good power fastball. Mid to upper 90s with that fastball. He cuts it, got a little cutter, and then he's got an overhand curve.
Davis, there are the numbers. 66 strikeouts and 42 in the 3rd innings. Opponents hitting 122 against him. It'll be Yan Gomes, David Murphy, Mike Aviles to face him here in the 8th in a 2-run ball game. And with all those numbers, what might be even the most impressive, first pitch misses inside for ball 1, is that he is the only pitcher in Major League Baseball to not allow an extra base hit in this 2014 season. You've had to have pitched a minimum of 40 innings. Think about that. Not an extra base hit. Foul back, 1 ball and 1 strike.
He challenges hitters for the most part. He goes up there and says, all right, if you can hit it. Now, the key to not giving up extra base hits is try to stay out of the middle.
Yep.
from the knees to the belt. All 4 areas around that area, the four quadrants of the strike zone, is where Davis lives.
Fastball blown past Gomes. 1-2.
And that's above the belt. An effective pitch.
Yan Gomes 1 for 3, a single, a run scored, a line out, and a strikeout.
Now, if you've got a 90-mile-an-hour fastball and you're throwing it just above the belt, watch out. That gets hit. Hitters have a little bit more time to see it and get on top of it.
Pull to third. Nice play. Moustakas, long throw. Not in time. Infield single for Gomes. Moustakas just could not get enough on the throw to beat Gomes.
And his momentum was carrying him all the way to the third base side and didn't have time to plant and get a good throw off. Gomes runs extremely well for a catcher. Good job of getting down that line, giving Cleveland a little bit of hope here.
David Murphy 1 for 2. Singled his last time up. Walk, a run scored, and a fly out. And the breaking ball's in there for a strike.
And that was a breaking ball that Gomes hit.
Average up to 251 now on the season. Big swing, foul tipped into the mitt of Salvador Perez. 0-2. Wade Davis acquired in the trade with James Shields from Tampa Bay. They gave up Myers, a big time prospect, but you got 2 huge components of your team in that deal.
Better believe it. That deal worked out well for both teams. That's what trades are designed for.
Flair, third base, foul territory. Moustakas makes the catch, 1 away. Mike Aviles will step to the plate. Aviles flew out to center field his last time up. 2 for 3 though, with 2 singles, an RBI, and a run scored. First pitch fastball blown right by him. You get Herrera in the 7th, throwing 97 to 100. You bring in Davis, 95, 96. It's not very easy against this bullpen.
Well, and that's a manager's dream, to be able to have guys like that.
Fouled back, no balls and 2 strikes. And I actually think that in today's day and age in baseball, I don't think you need that dominant ace to win. I think if you have a bunch of really good number 2 pitchers and that back end of the bullpen, 7, 8, 9, if you can get 6, 7, 8, 9, that's how you can win.
That's right. We're in the era of the bullpen now. And you're right. If you can piecemeal a starting rotation, you're doing okay. But you know, the Cleveland Indians have that same thing. They've got Brian Shaw and Cody Allen. Couple guys that can finish games off when they have the lead. Francona and Ned Yost have a luxury at the back end of their pens.
I mean, I look at the Dodgers right now, and their starting rotation, it's all-star after all-star. But the bullpen is a weakness. You got Jansen in the back, but you got to get to Jansen. In the dirt, Perez able to block it. Gomes not going anywhere.
Davis was used as a starter last year. Didn't fare so well. Luke Hochevar, who was a longtime starter for the Royals, had some difficulties as a starter. They put him in the pen, and he became Greg Holland's setup man and did a terrific job. And then in the spring, he had Tommy John surgery. So it put him out. Now Ned Yost has got to say, there's Hochevar. Ned Yost goes, okay, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to put Wade Davis in that setup role. And he thrived, Wade Davis did, in the Tampa Bay Rays bullpen. more than he did as a starter for them. So Ned Yost has put the back end of that pin to win for KC.
Still 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Aviles. Aviles to right field. Kane is there, makes the catch, fighting the lights. 2 away.
Aviles with a nice at bat there. And you see Lorenzo Cain, boy, I tell you, he's lucky that was right at him. If it's off to the side, lots of times you miss that ball. So good focus. It's not easy.
A helpless, nerve-wracking feeling for Cain.
You better believe it is. That and losing a ball in the sun.
2 outs now for Jason Kipnis. A 2-run double back in the second. His only hit, 1 for 4. Good first pitch in there for a strike. Kipnis with good numbers against Wade Davis in his career. Fastball is up high. 1 ball and 1 strike. I do find it incredible how you get some guys who are starters throwing 91, 92. You put them in the bullpen, bam, 96, 97.
Well, they're able to conserve out of the pen. You have to spread it out when you're a starting pitcher through 3 times through the order. I mean, you have to have 4 pitches. That's why you see a guy from the pen comes in. He only needs 2 pitches because he's strong and he's well rested and he can let it all go. It's like a dragster. You see how they race. They go pedal to the metal and they are out. And the same way a guy like Wade Davis has been able to conserve, and when he comes out he just lets it all out.
Fastball's high and outside. Now 3 balls and a strike to Kipnis. Jose Ramirez on deck. Catch all the second half action on MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live in True HD on over 400 devices. Visit MLB.TV for details. I love that app. Love it. I'll be home. I'll see a game going on. Good pitchers duel. I'll just put it on my phone. It's great.
It is. Same thing for me. You're on the road, getting on a team bus, team airplane. Follow all the action.
3-1 is outside, ball 4. First and second, 2 outs for Jose Ramirez.
I think that's a lot what the conversation was about when Salvi went out there to talk to Davis. He's saying, you know what, we've got a middle infielder coming up. We'd rather give a 3-1 shot down the middle to Kipnis, or you want to take on Ramirez? So
yeah.
I think he said, you know what, let's just throw one outside and then get to Ramirez and take your chances. But any guy with a bat can hurt you.
I agree with you there. I'd rather go after Ramirez than Jason Kipnis. Ramirez has reached base 3 times tonight. 2 singles, a walk, and a ground out. And the fastball's in there for strike 1.
A guy like Ramirez, he's going to look for that fastball, and he's going to keep his swing short because he's not a power threat. He just wants to make some contact. Outfielders are extremely shallow. It'll be tough to score Gomes from second base on a single right to one of them.
Swing and a miss, no balls and 2 strikes.
Talked about the arms in the outfield and their overall play. Gordon has 6 assists in left. Kane has 7 in right. Dyson has 3 in center.
The 0-2. Out of the way. Honestly, if it's hit to one of those guys, they're not sending Yan Gomes with Michael Brantley on
Absolutely
the next
not.
batter.
Not at all. Only chance is if he can hit a gapper. If you're Davis, you want to stay up in the zone with that hard fastball. If you throw anything down, Ramirez might could get a bat on it and send it through the infield.
Another 0-2. Called strike 3. Davis strands 2 base runners. We head to the bottom half of the 8th. 7-5 Kansas City. The bullpen doing its job. Lead off here in the 8th inning, and Billy Butler is our King play of the day, brought to you by Burger King. We go back to the 5th inning. In a tie game, he uncorks one. A 2-run shot off of Nick Hagedorn. His 2nd straight game with a 2-run shot to give his team the lead. Last night, he made it 6-4. Tonight, he makes it 7-5. With the help of the bullpen, that lead has stayed at 7-5. A new pitcher into the game here for the Indians. It is the right-hander Cody Allen. Allen has put up very good numbers out of the pen. 3-2 at 2.05 ERA.
Heck yeah, look at those strikeouts to innings pitched. 59-44. He's getting it done with a hard fastball, mid-90s. He's got a power curve. A beauty. That's his wipeout pitch.
A breaking ball for strike 1. Look at what he's done since May 30th. That's just nasty. The 0-1 in the air, center field. Brantley over to his right. 1 away.
Well, we talked about it. Both of these teams, their records with the lead after the 7th inning. Royals were 40-1. Cleveland 39-1. And that speaks volumes to the back end of these managers' bullpens that they have. You know, it's a dogfight to see who can have the lead after 7.
Lorenzo Cain 2 for 3, a couple of singles, a run scored, and a strikeout his last at bat. Inside outs, 1 foul. 95 from Cody Allen. 0-1. Greg Holland is warming up out there in the bullpen for the Royals. The closer for Kansas City. One ball and one strike. There's Holland. Down the right field line, Santana giving chase. Santana on the run, makes the catch.
What a nice play. I mean, he had to run a long way for that.
Impressive play by Carlos Santana in foul territory to make the play.
Terry Francona raved about him in our pregame meeting today, about his athleticism, the ability for him to play the corners, third base, first base. He could even play some outfield for him. He's a catcher. So throw that on his resume. So his versatility and the way he swings that bat, Francona, he can find a place for him. Good focus.
He knew he had it. You see him hit the glove?
Yeah, he's all in over there. Francona talked about his first base at playing abilities. They've been exceptional.
2 outs now for Gerard Dyson. Takes the first pitch for a strike. He's 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Ground ball to first. Easy play for Santana. 1-2-3 inning worked by Cody Allen. We go to the 9th. Greg Holland's coming in trying to close it out with the Royals leading 7-5. The defensive replacement, Eric Hosmer, comes in to play first base, replacing Billy Butler. Hosmer can play defense. He just can't hit right now. Most likely getting tomorrow off. This way he can come back on Tuesday. And Greg Holland, the closer, 26 of 28 in save opportunities, 1-2, a 1.91 ERA. 56 strikeouts to 11 walks. And this is how good the Royals have been this year.
How about the Red Sox? Perfect.
Yeah, but they're 47 and 56 entering today.
Yep.
Michael Brantley will lead things off. First pitch, fouls one off. No balls and one strike.
Cleveland, they know Holland. They know that they're going to see a mid to upper 90s fastball. He's got a slider and a split finger. Ooh, he's got that shin guard to pad that, but not on the toe. That hit him right off of his big left toe. Ouch.
Brantley 2 for 4. An RBI double, a single, a fly out. And he also grounded into a double play. The 1-1 from Holland. 1 ball and 2 strikes. You could see it almost being disconcerting for a batter with how much he falls off towards first base.
Yeah, he can be deceptive, but he's not all that tall. He's just at 6 feet tall, but he really can leverage his lower body. He's very strong, got good sound mechanics, but he at times he does fall off hard.
Staying alive is Brantley at 1-2.
Let's check him out. Gathers, loads up, just like a hitter does. That's where you get your power from your lower half, but you see him, he falls off hard. But sometimes when he falls off and he throws that fastball at 97 miles an hour, there's a little rise effect to it when it's up in the zone. So it's very deceptive.
Another 1-2. Brantley to left field. Gordon comes in over to his right, makes the catch, 1 away. Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball, presents the walk-off. Great walk-offs are waiting at foxsports.com/Budweiser. Grab some buds. There was a walk-off here on Thursday night. Nori Aoki in 14 innings. A 2-1 victory for the Royals.
They got the walk-off, but only because Greg Holland blew his 2nd save of the year that night. Oh, he's only human. But they picked him up.
1 away now for Carlos Santana. Changeup misses for ball 1. If Holland can hold on for the save, Jeremy Guthrie would get the win. Would be his 6th of the season.
Talk about how the offense picked up Holland Thursday night after his blown save. How about them picking up Guthrie tonight?
Look what Santana's done at the plate his last 7 times up. 2 home runs, a walk, a home run, a walk, a double, and a pop out. He must be cooling off. I mean, he popped out his last time.
Yeah, what's wrong with him? He's in a little slump. But Holland, he can go ahead and try to pitch to him and strike him out if he can. 2 runs down here, a solo homer just gets him 1 closer. But you walk him, and then that sometimes can cause trouble in the 9th inning.
The 2-1 from Holland. Blown right past Santana at 97. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Holland uses that high fastball to blow it by some guys, and then he's got really good control with his slider and split finger. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference between the 2 pitches because they both have downward action, the secondary pitches, but he can throw them for strikes as well.
2-2. There's that splitter, and Santana goes down swinging for out number 2.
Salvador Perez says, put it down here, Poppy. Right down by the ankles. That's where we want it. Kept it in front of him. And was able to keep it in front. Looked like the way he was gripping that ball, that was a slider.
You're right. You can't tell the difference.
No, it's hard. So it's sometimes referred to as a splider.
Well, now the Indians down to their final out, and Chris Dickerson. The fans on their feet here at Kauffman Stadium. Fastball is inside for ball 1. Dickerson 0 for 4. A couple of strikeouts, a couple of flyouts to lefts. The Royals won on Thursday 2-1 in 14. They won last night 6-4. Trying to take the first 3 games of this 4-game set. 1-1. The Royals trying to move to 3 games above 500. Pulled foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes. And now these fans will really get loud.
It's been 29 years since the Royals have seen a postseason game. These fans here.
Herrera to Davis to Holland. The 1-2. Pulled foul.
Again, with 2 strikes, you've got to look for the fastball, but if anything close with the secondary pitches, just try to fight him, stay in there. Just take some short swings. Home run would be nice, but not likely with 2 strikes. Swisher on deck.
Another 1-2. Got him. The Royals come all the way back from 5-0 to take game 3 of this series 7-5. Billy Butler with a game-winning home run again. Another slider that was nasty from Holland.
Incredible secondary pitch he's got, and that fastball sets it all up.
7-5. The Royals defeat the Indians, taking the first 3 games of this series. It's time now for Fox Sports Live. Let's go to LA. Ryan Field and Don Bell. Have some fun, boys.